and welcome to Season 3,
Yes.
Episode 1 of the Ballrooms and Bachelors Podcast. I'm Camille.
I'm Matthew.
And we are going to talk about dance, life, and all things Bachelor. And we are now switching to the monthly format, so we have a lot to catch up on
Yes,
today.
so much.
So we're just going to start with some updates to, at the dance studio, I've really just been, after the Dallas competition, I've really just been focusing on doing some group classes at the studio, kind of adjusting to the fall schedule.
Yeah.
And I am planning now to do my showcase that I did, the hip hop one. In Dallas. I'm planning to do it again at our showcase in Connecticut.
Yes.
They will also be celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Dance With Me studios, but they're going to do like the tri-state area one, so I'm going to do the showcase again. So I'm very excited.
That's so exciting.
Elena and I have been like cleaning it up a little bit, like adding some different things, adding some extra nuances. So it will be nice to do it again with, some of our other friends able to be present, and then just to like clean it up a little bit. I still haven't posted the full thing online because I honestly just have not had time.
I totally get it.
And I think like as far as dance updates for me, aside from that, we just were in a group class. We did the workout class with Elena. So.
We worked out very hard. Thank you, Elena.
Yeah, and Brian was teasing me that I ditched his salsa class, and I was like,
yes, I'm sorry, Brian.
I haven't done this class all month, so I'm not really ditching them.
Yes.
And then by the time this is posted, we will have also had the Halloween party at the Glen Rock studio. So,
which is really very exciting.
Yeah, we have that this week. So that's really it for me with dance. I've my schedule's been a little bit hectic in the fall, so I've just been trying to focus on that, and we'll see what 2026 brings for me.
That's so exciting, yeah.
But what about you? You have a lot of updates.
Oh my gosh, yes, I have so many updates. Like you were talking about, and like this is just not even, like I think that's why we haven't been as active on the social media as what we've talked about, like in the last episode of Season 2, just because with school and personal things going on and other plans, we have not had the time to really do a lot. So like you were saying, I've had a lot of plans. The first thing I want to talk about, I don't even think we talked about this when I was, like before I went. I don't think we talked about this, did we?
Before your trip?
Yes.
No, because I don't think you knew you were going on the trip
No.
Because it was in August or September we last filmed the beginning.
Yes, that's right. So yeah. So I did a very, very exciting trip about 2 weeks ago. I officially went back to England for the first time since I studied abroad there. Like I mentioned, I studied abroad there for 4 months last spring semester, so about a year and a half ago, and it was the first time I had been back since then. Yeah. And it was just such a special trip. Like I was texting you kind of in our own time that really when we landed there, because my dad went with me, when we landed there, like all of the memories and the emotions of like being back there kind of flooded back into my mind, and I didn't really expect that. Or not that I didn't expect it, but it just hit me much harder than I did, and I think that kind of shows how much living in a place truly impacts you. So it was such a great time. We were in London for a few days, and then we went to the little town / like village where my campus was. So I went there. I went to my campus for a little bit, saw a lot of the staff there. I got to say hi. I have a lot of friends over there, including actually, I love you guys at the studio know this. I made actually some dance friends over there, which was super, super cool because one of the employees at my college, so their whole family actually also does ballroom dancing. So they really kind of took me in as part of their family, which was really cool. And I went to a lot of like showcases with them, and I did private lessons with their instructors while I was over there. So I got to go out to dinner with them this trip, and I got to see one of my other friends who was also a worker at the college. And then we did a day trip with really cool to Stratford-upon-Avon, which is where Shakespeare is from. Beautiful town. I recommend it if you are ever over there. And then we came back. But yeah, it was such an awesome trip, and it was a really, really good time. I think just with how busy my schedule has been with school and personal life things and everything, I really needed that kind of break to like reset and be like, okay, let me not think about anything like here right now. Let me like have a little bit of a break and just do something for myself. So that was really special. So that was a good time.
Yeah, I'm glad you were able to go.
Yes.
It was a quick trip, but you've been there before, so it's like you knew where to go.
Exactly.
It was kind of like you're visiting back there. Like I think that's when I travel. I'm like, I want to go everywhere.
I want to go everywhere. Exactly. And I think the thing for me was like I went to so many places that I didn't go the first time I was there or when I was living there. And even if I did, like you said, I like knew like on the tube or the metro like where to get to and stuff, or the stations and stuff. So like I felt much more of like a not veteran or a not like I guess amateur going around London and England and stuff, because obviously like I lived there. So yeah, it was a great time. So it was awesome. Yeah. And so like you were saying also with like kind of dance updates, I don't really have anything going on really most of the rest of the year, just because, again, with school, and I'm really kind of finishing a pre-production for my film for filming next year.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was telling you a few days ago, I do have a few showcase ideas that I would like to try to do with Elena. She doesn't even know any of this yet, so Elena, stay tuned. But one of them is more of like a fun kind of, I think, just more for kind of like for the performance, kind of just to have fun, not really like any. I mean, obviously there's a story, but it's not. It's more like, I guess, just for fun. Like, because a lot of times we do either do showcases for fun or more to convey a story or something that's really personal to you. Yeah. And so the first one is that, and I see myself probably doing one of those more, or that one more at like what I just did in August, more of like at a mini match virtual event. And then I also have a contemporary idea that is a very personal and like important story to me that I feel like I would like to share. And because of that, I feel like that one is more suited for like in front of people, like and not in like a virtual sense. I feel like if I would want to do that like at AODC or one of our Dance For Me competitions, like at a gala. And so those two showcases I'm hoping to do hopefully within the next like half year. And then I'm also like, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm also hoping to get back into Latin and Standard next year. And so I can start competing maybe mid-spring, early summer next year. Because we have like a lot of our new Latin routines already. And we pretty much like kind of paused Standard because a lot of times last year or 2 years ago when we were going to do Standard and Latin, we ended up just doing Latin because we hadn't like gone through Standard all the time or all the way. So I'd like to just resume that because it's been like almost 2 years since I've competed, which I really, really miss. And so, yeah, I think that will be really, really fun. So that's, those are kind of my dance updates for the studio. So
I was like, right now, I just work a lot of things going on for me at work. And also just like my part-time job coaching. I have a lot of students that a few competed in the fall. I have so many that are probably competing in the spring. So I'm just like trying to get a gist of like what my bandwidth is for all of that first before I commit to anything. And then I also am very active like with work. I do fundraising for this Light the Night is this walk that supports Blood Cancer United, formerly the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So I have been very busy with all of that stuff, but it kind of like winds down. We have the holidays, and then we'll see what happens
in the new year. But I think we both plan on doing hopefully starting to compete again and doing our routines in the new year. So we'll see what happens with that. But
so we will switch to hot topics.
Yes, let's do it.
I know when we were like comparing our notes, I think we can go a quick thing.
Yes, we could do that. That's fine.
We'll do it really quickly.
Really quickly, because we're so far removed from this that maybe nobody even cares now.
Bachelor
but we'll see.
in Paradise.
Yes.
They didn't do a reunion on television.
No.
They did this podcast, like the
Bachelor Happy Hour. Yeah.
It was so long. I'm glad I listened at 2x speed.
Oh, yes.
But I think overall, all the couples that we knew were together when the show concluded are still together. So Andrew and Alex, I'm pretty sure they're still together. Posting. I guess Kat and Dale.
I think they're still together. I haven't checked anything, but yes,
I think Bailey and Jeremy
are still together.
And now I'm just spacing out, and I feel like somebody just.
Did you say Spencer and Jess? Did you say that?
I didn't say Spencer and Jess, but obviously Spencer and Jess.
Yes.
Somebody told me I think they walked past Bailey the other day in the city. I don't know who it was.
That's crazy.
I don't know who it was. I just had a moment that I feel like somebody literally texted me this. And I don't remember who they. I don't know. Maybe it was a dream. Because don't they live in the city?
I think so. Or I think.
Oh, my friend. Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
okay.
she
one of my other friends. All right.
So that's cool.
She did walk past her. She's like, I feel like you'd appreciate this. So I mean, I don't know. There was clearly a lot of drama.
Yes.
That didn't get surfaced. I don't even know if I can explain it.
No, I think they brought up a lot of the like Parliament of Paradise stuff again, and they were still going at it, and Sean was still like going after Kat, and same things that he was saying in the episodes and everything, which is still kind of weird to me that like they would keep that going like in the reunion podcast. Like, why does it really even matter? But okay, but
I think the other thing, and then Sean and Alicia are not together anymore. That was like amicable and whatever.
Yeah, that's not really surprising.
They weren't. Yeah, it wasn't too surprising. They don't seem to be totally like
kind of
I'm not
that
it's just like they both have just separately moved on, which is fine. And then that actually reminds me of another thing that we did not put on the hot topics that we'll get to after. But yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing that they were kind of just like the takeaway from the season overall that I think they kind of said that they felt that because it got taken off the table at an earlier point in time that more people were going to be coming in. They felt like they had more time to focus on their partner. I think Kat said something to that effect because she had the experience, her and Andrew, at the very least, had the experience of Paradise the previous one.
Yeah, right.
But I think they said that honestly they were fine and the competitiveness didn't really start until they had the competition aspect.
Yeah.
And that's where I think they felt like they were like getting along with each other until then. And I don't know, they all seemed optimistic that they'll kind of just like get over it down the line.
Yeah.
But it just was interesting like how they all reacted.
For sure, yeah. That was really interesting. But I think overall it's not a lot of surprises from the reunion podcast. But no.
It was just like, and now I'm like, wow, it's so long ago.
But, I know, it was so long ago. Like I think it was like a month and a half ago. Because like, when was the finale? Wasn't it like early September?
No, it was September because it was right after Labor Day.
Yeah, it was like the first week of September, I think. So yeah, it's been like over a month and a half. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, because we thought, we were trying to figure out when we were recording. And
yeah.
I was like, but I know Andrew and Alex are still together because I just remember Greg like filmed some rom-com.
Oh yes, I remember this
for them, and they put it on Instagram, and it was really funny.
Really funny.
So also in the time that we've been away, there were 2 big announcements of Bachelor-related shows.
Yes.
So that's what the second one I just remembered before.
Yes.
The first one is Bachelorette.
Yes.
Our new Bachelorette is Taylor Frankie Paul from The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Mm-hmm.
As of currently, I have not watched the show.
I have not either, but I've been told by a lot of people I need to. So maybe we need to do something to do that, like to watch it. Maybe.
And also, then we get to Dancing with the Stars later, and we have 2 of the Mormon Wives
on Dancing with the Stars this season.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I need to watch this.
Is it like a sign? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I need to try to sit and watch it because Taylor Frankie Paul, I've heard there is a big controversy about like her background and all of this. I will also just lend this. When I was at the Lady Worlds Festival, Rachel Lindsay, who was a former Bachelorette, of course, she hasn't watched the franchise in a while, and she, I guess, watches the Mormon Wives, and she was saying that she's here for Taylor Frankie Paul as the Bachelorette.
Yes.
She basically said that she was like, I don't know, she's like, she's real, she's true, she's gonna tell it like it is. She's like, it's going to be very like honest a season. So I'm like, she gave that opinion when she was up on stage, and I'm like, okay, I want to like give it to her. I think there was a lot of controversy because some of the charges that she's had against her, there could seem to be a double standard. Like if there was a man that had some of the same charges that she had, I think there was, I don't want to say
like speculate or anything,
Google it because that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
But if it was a man, we probably wouldn't be as excited to have him as a Bachelor. And I'm like, no, I acknowledge there's a double standard there. I'm not casting the show.
Yeah.
But I'll see, we'll see what happens with the actual casting. And
I'm curious to see what the casting is like. Because I remember you and I were talking about this when like the announcement was made. Is like, so are they going to have like all people that are Mormon? Or are they going to like not? Like, how is that going to work? And then also, this is not usually the time where they announce a Bachelorette. This is like because usually they announce The Bachelor now, because then The Bachelor will film around this time and then premiere in January. And then right around like the finale of The Bachelor in March, that's when they'll have the Bachelorette announcement. They'll film in the spring and like it'll premiere in June or July. So now I'm curious if does that mean this Bachelorette season is going to be first part of the year, or is it going to still be? That's what you think? Yeah.
I think so.
That would make sense.
I think they're recording it as if they were doing The Bachelor. Well, I guess maybe not. That might have been... Because typically when they recorded the season that premiered in January, they usually started it in like September.
Yeah.
And then they finish recording before like Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But I think they haven't or maybe they did start. I don't think they would do it over the holidays. I think they just wanted to announce it earlier, and they might be recording it later. They wanted more of a longer lead time to cast.
Yeah.
They did cast the guys now. They just announced it the other day. I haven't gone through it.
Yeah.
We'll have to go.
We'll do that at some point soon.
Yeah, a separate time. We have time. They haven't announced a premiere yet. I know that they had her mom on Almost Famous podcast the other day, and I listened to that interview, and she sounded just very positive, and she's like, I know my daughter's going to do stuff her own way, and like, she just seems to be like kind of like a go with the flow person.
Yeah.
She's not gonna overthink it. So I just we'll just see.
We'll see what happens.
It's just it was just an interesting choice that they went like full celebrity.
Yes.
cast pick, and
Yes.
I don't know,
because that's not, they don't usually do that, so it's gonna be,
No.
especially since it's somebody from a known show
Yeah.
on like the same kind of circle with Hulu and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
interesting, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and then, I mean, because even like Mel Owens was like
Yeah.
status. But
Yeah.
and then the other thing, the other Bachelor show that I forgot the timing of when it's airing. It's early next year. They're doing an HGTV show about renovating the Bachelor Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And I remembered because Alicia is a contestant on the show, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
They picked, I think it was Taylor Cameron and Tayshia? Who was the other?
Tasha.
Was
I
it
think,
Tayshia?
Tasha
No.
or Kate, was it Caitlin? No.
No, it wasn't Caitlin.
No.
They had a few people that they're going to judge, and they're going to
Yeah,
have
yeah,
a lot of,
yeah, know you're talking
former
about, yeah.
Bachelor contestants that are going to be participating in like submitting designs. We don't really understand the format of the show yet, but I used to watch HGTV so much when I was a child. And frankly, Chris Harrison was on House Hunters, and I remembered him from House Hunters. And it was always just like, they got to the point where they looked at the houses and then they picked, do they want one? Do they want two? Do they want three? And I'd always be watching Chris Harrison talk through all this stuff. And lo and behold, then he
now we're getting, exactly.
Yeah,
and
so,
now we're getting full circle with this.
So I'm excited. I think
Yeah,
that
it
would
should
just
be
be
fun.
like cool. I did at one point also want to go into interior design and architecture, and because of Extreme Makeover Home Edition. So I'm like, good. It gives me an excuse to like watch a home.
Like home show with the Bachelor,
Maybe I'll get into HGTV again and start watching it. So,
I love that. That's amazing.
So I don't know. We'll have to see. We're not changing the name of the podcast.
No,
this is still Bachelor related.
Yes.
Anyway, I don't know. Do you have anything else? Otherwise, we can get on to Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, Dancing with the Stars. Let's do it.
All right. So for Dancing with the Stars,
we got a lot going on for this. Yes.
Take it away.
Okay. So, man, just like I think being removed from the Bachelor shows now. I mean, besides going Bachelor, like we've been like so like there's been so much to like focus on with Dancing with the Stars. So, I think the first thing we wanted to talk about is that I'm really happy with the theme nights this semester this season. I might have school mode. I'm sorry. They announced the theme nights this season very, very early, which I think like they haven't done that in the past, have they?
I don't think so, but I think they started to do the theme nights more often.
I don't remember as of like they did the theme nights, but they weren't every week.
No,
I remember
it wasn't.
that.
Now I think, and you know what? I think people. My hunch is they like the theme nights because then it gives more of a reason for people to tune in that might not tune in.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when they did the Taylor Swift night a few years ago, I'm sure there are a lot of people that tuned in because of that.
Yes, and especially since Taylor Swift made an actual cameo on the show. I did like that night
with the video,
and everything. But I think that's kind of an interesting thing where. Not really controversy, but I think it's like stirred up some conversation with the theme nights because with the theme nights in the past, I think this season they've maybe shifted the way they've thought about this, but usually on theme nights they've had a guest judge. And I think ever since this season, until this season, they might have had, I would say about 85-90% of the guest judges have had dance experience, but then maybe the other 10 haven't. On those theme nights. And I think I saw a lot of people on social media and just on YouTube and everything being like, if you're going to have, and I definitely agree with this, like if you're going to have guest judges, even if they're not a ballroom dancer or like at least make them like, or have them be a choreographer or somebody that knows dance, because then they kind of like, just like John M. Chu for Wicked Night last week, he directed a lot of those Step Up movies, which is all dance. Then obviously he did In the Heights and all that stuff. So those are all musical, and Wicked obviously. So like even though he's not like a dancer per se, like he knows what he's looking for, and it wasn't like he was just giving kind of empty criticism or like kind of feedback. And so that's what I've noticed with the theme nights is that I feel like especially this season they're kind of focusing on if we're gonna have guest judges, we'll make sure that it's just people with dance experience, or at least they know what they're talking about.
No, that makes sense. I mean, and I think it's probably, I don't know, my hunch is they probably announced the theme nights earlier because they probably can just identify the songs they need the rights to sooner, because they probably do a survey. Like, if you had to pick, like, what's your anthem? What's your one, like, and then the one-hit wonders, they probably just list the songs and then they assign them, like, you know, a TikTok night, Disney night, dedication. You know, I mean, and Disney is ABC's parent company. So, you know, it's easier for them to get
to do that, And I heard, like, for Wicked, I think the getting the permission was a pretty big thing, and I heard like it was a whole big like like just for everything. Like the whole like night planning of that night was very, very logistically challenging, which I don't like. I do not surprise me at all. So I definitely think that's probably true.
They like recreated almost every set.
From the movie. I know. I was like, man, they're going all out. I know.
Like Robert's dance, but
yes.
Well, the one thing about the theme nights too that I was going over my notes while we were trying to consolidate for the episode. And I realized, this is the 20th anniversary of Dancing with the Stars.
Which is truly crazy.
And so November 11th is the birthday party celebration.
I'm so excited for
I
that.
knew that date was important.
Yes.
That's what we were.
That's what it was.
That's fine.
Yes. Okay. That's fine. We'll just watch it later.
we have a dance thing that night at the studio. They're doing the Thanksgiving potluck. We just realized that.
Yes.
I was like, I knew there was something November 11th. That was what it was.
Yes.
But thank goodness for Hulu and watching the next day.
Day, yes.
But still voting live.
Yes.
Anyway.
We'll be at the studio eating. It's like, okay, who are we?
Make sure we're voting at least while we're not watching.
While we're not watching, yeah.
So yeah, I think we went through the theme nights. There's been a few episodes. Do you want to go through? I think we were going to say, let's go through the episodes. We're going to try to just go as quickly as we can. And just try to talk about like the memorable moments, like highlights, things like that.
Yes.
So you lead the way.
Okay, I will. And I said this to you yesterday, because when we did our like most memorable moments for Bachelor and Dancing with the Stars in season 1, like 2 years ago, I think because of me, I made the episode like twice as long than it would have been if like we just like if I didn't have as many dancers that I would have.
Like 18 years of content to go
I did.
As of then. So I used to do 2 seasons a year.
2 seasons a year, exactly. Yeah. And I was going from like season 1, 2 up to that point. So now we're just focusing on 1 season. So I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
So I think what we wanted to do, like you said, is go through the theme nights. And I pretty much, did you actually have like kind of memorable moments written down too?
I just highlighted, I loved everybody's dance the first night. Honestly, I thought everybody was great.
Yeah, me too.
So I think that's where you go through yours.
Okay.
And
if you want to chime in, okay.
And I just, random things that people say.
Okay, yeah, so if you want to we can kind of fill in the gaps. That's fine. Absolutely. So like you said, I thought everybody was, and that's the thing with this season is that I don't think there's been a season like this in a very long time in terms of the talent.
Yeah.
There's just so many good people on this show. And then again, it's going to go back to the controversy of like, oh, everybody, like there's like 3 or 4 people that have dance experience. It's not fair. But I don't know what podcast I was listening to, but they were saying like, I enjoy watching people that are good at dance. And I also enjoy watching people that are like on that dance journey that maybe have never danced before, but then get better because they're on the show.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it should be like, oh, no dancer should be on the show. I just don't think that should be the case at all because I still enjoy watching them.
No, I mean, Charli D'Amelio, she worked hard.
She worked very hard, yes.
Where she was when she started and where she was when she finished, she still earned it.
Yes.
Yeah, she... yes.
She had the starting point.
She had the starting point that probably just, it maybe felt like the rest of them couldn't even compete with that. But there were still some amazing performances by other individuals on the show that season.
Yes.
It's, and I think that's where sometimes I love the show. I love everything, and all that. But at the end of the day, I know that sometimes the voting and who wins, it just does boil down to being a popularity contest. Yes. Like, I don't not acknowledge that.
Yes.
But I think it's just, so it's hard, seeing people go home before maybe they're ready, but
yeah.
And it's especially hard when you see everybody so talented and so committed and so desiring to like learn that they go home earlier. But I kind of just be like, look, I enjoy seeing all of them have the experience of dancing, performing, learning, connecting with the other individuals on the show. And it's just like, I enjoy watching the experience that the celebrities and the pros.
Absolutely, yeah. And I just feel like that's the thing where like it just stirs up some like unwarranted, I guess, negativity.
Yeah.
Because I've seen there's been a lot of people, especially like just for instance this season with like Whitney and Mark. I just think there's like a lot of people that are like coming after them because like, oh, she's a trained dancer, that's not fair and everything. And it's just, I just think there's just, because of the resurgence of this show on like TikTok and Instagram within like the last 2 or 3 years, there's just so many more opinions that are just being like put out there that I, like you had said, I think even if you're a trained dancer on the show, I'm sure probably receiving that criticism from online is like, you're confident on the show, but I'm sure it doesn't make it any easier I'm sure you could have like a pretty big confidence hit maybe because of that, but you got to stay strong. But yeah, it's crazy. Like just, I guess that whole dynamic, but yeah, so we can go into the actual weeks now. Like you said, I really liked the premiere. I tried to like limit the dances. I loved everybody, but I just wrote down a few. The first one that I wrote down was Hilaria and Gleb's Cha-Cha. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, but then again, this is going to go back to the whole dance experience thing, because she actually has Latin ballroom training and experience. And I said that training definitely shows, but I enjoyed watching it. So I didn't see it as, oh, that's not fair. Like I loved watching it. And I love the choreo from Gleb. I thought it was great. Yeah. I thought it really showcased her talent very well. And it wasn't maybe it was just because, again, she has that training and that background. But there was a lot of it wasn't just, basic cha-cha steps or whatever. It was really really creative. And I really, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I did like her performances. I really think she did well too. Yeah. I mean, that one, the other notes that I had is, because, the first episode, they go into more of the background. Yeah. She did have that dance training, but apparently she broke her hip at one point.
Yeah, I think I saw that, yeah.
So I think that's the other thing is, a lot of them, they had dance training, but then they stopped, and then they went away from it, and then they're coming back to it. So I was happy to see her come back to dance. Yeah. And then also, they had a clip of her practicing at the Soho studio for Dance With Me, and they were like, oh my gosh. So Gleb, just probably worked it out with Max and Val.
Max and Val, yeah. Because I saw, and I think I might have told you this, but I think it was the week or two before the premiere. It was the same week as the GMA announcement. All the pros were practicing in the Soho studio too. I remember they all posted the picture. Then oh wait, they're in the Soho studio. So that's kind of cool that they were at our studio, but not our studio, but our studio chain in the location, which is really cool. But yeah, I thought that was a great dance. The next one I had, just for a memorable one, was obviously Robert and Whitney's jive. It was very, very, and to start off with a jive in week one, for somebody that's never danced before in their life, that is a really hard ask, I think, of anybody. And he really just knocked it out of the park. It was so good, and he is such a natural performer. I think it just whether it's he knows how to perform to the camera, to the audience, he knows what he's doing, even if he's not trained. Yeah. It's just some people have that, I guess, just that energy that's hey, I can perform. And there's really no surprise, but I also I love the choreography from Whitney. It's always great. But that was just a highlight for me. And you knew when he jumped over. What would you it was some, I think was it a tiger or something? I forgot what it was, but it was an animal figure, and he did a whole leap over him. You knew he was gonna kill it. Yeah, I thought it was great.
No, I loved his jive too. I agree. Just coming out of the gate with the jive is not easy. It's not an easy dance.
It's not an easy dance.
I love that dance, but it's not an easy dance.
Yes, me too. It's not an easy dance.
So what, did you have any other ones? Or you were trying to limit it to those?
I had, oh my gosh. I have three more I can go through really quickly, and then I'll I have an honorable mention, but I'll go through very quickly. The next one was Whitney and Mark's Tango. Yes. And again, absolutely fantastic. And I wrote just Hilarious that her dance training definitely shows. But I just really love the confidence and attack she had in it. And obviously for the tango, that's very important. And Mark just always kills it with ideas and choreography. I don't think there's really, besides Derek, I don't think there's anybody really like them when it comes to ideas and for choreo and just for ideas and different plans for the dance. Yeah, I think, that was great. Yeah. And did you have anything for that?
Well, I was just saying I took the note because Julianne said that apparently she did go to the rival dance studio with Whitney, the pro, back in the day. And then there was the whole issue that Bruno apparently meant to give her a 7, but he wrote an 8, so he technically gave her an 8. On literally.
And he was like, "You're welcome."
Because it was only Bruno and Derek, so it was 15 out of 20, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I think he was Bruno's face was huh?
Yeah. I think there were a lot of kind of disruptions with the scoring that night, because everybody was Carrie Ann wasn't there. Yeah. It was wait.
They were all
they were out of the ordinary. This one might be a little bit of a surprise, but I really, and this, I will kind of get into this at the eliminations as well, but I really, really, really liked and enjoyed Baron and Britt's Cha-Cha.
Oh, yeah.
It just reminded... Do you have any?
No, keep going.
Yeah.
So you can't touch this.
Yeah, you can touch this. He was wearing the MC Hammer pants. He was all in the character. Yeah. And just from first glance, he really reminded me of Emmett Smith and Dwight. From, was Dwight last season or 2 seasons ago? I don't know. I think it was last season. Yeah. But he had that kind of swag and just, hey, I'm here, I'm confident, I'm ready. And even though he didn't have, obviously, dance experience, I just love the swag and the choreography. Yeah. And again, he just reminded me a lot of like Emmett Smith and those kind of people. And so I really enjoyed that. But
yeah, and I think they picked on him, and I'm like, he's wearing the MC Hammer pants. What do you think
I know.
is going to happen?
I know. And then I have two more quick ones from the premiere. The second to last one is, oh my gosh, Dylan and Daniela's Cha-Cha.
Just to milkshake.
Milkshake.
What is not to enjoy
what
about
is
that?
To not enjoy, especially when, like, you see him sipping a fake milkshake with Bruno right before the dance starts, and then he starts hip thrusting on the judges' table. It's like, okay. And it was so funny seeing Bruno. He was like, wait, when he started doing that. And I was like, okay, hip action, let's go. Like, I was like, it was so impressive. And I really attribute this to not only him being a really good student, but then also Daniela is just so fantastic that he really got, and we'll get into this for like a lot of his other dances, but he's really gotten the technique down for all the dances and for Cha-Cha specifically. Like, for example, when he was doing like the backwards lockstep, I was like, wait a second, that was really good for someone that's never danced before.
We'll keep coming back.
We'll keep coming back to that. And then the last one, I don't really have notes on it, but I just wrote it down because I really liked it, was Elaine and Alan's Cha-Cha. Yes. That just really, really, not surprised me, but I just didn't know. Obviously, I've loved her in the movies that she's been in and as a performer, but I didn't know she could dance like that. And it was just so entertaining, and she's just so full of life and everything like that. So I really enjoyed it.
Well, she's older. She was in The Parent Trap. I love that movie.
I love that movie.
I absolutely loved that movie growing up. It was funny because she said brought champagne for when they win.
Yes.
She started off as a dancer, but she wasn't doing ballroom, and then she got hit by a car, and that's like it took her away from it. So like similar to Hilaria's story, it was like it's nice to see them like come back to something they enjoyed doing. And like we were just talking to Matthew's family, and they were watching the beginning of the episode tonight because we are recording this during the Halloween episode. But apparently Elaine is in the hospital and not
competing tonight.
So when I heard that, I was like, oh no. No. So we don't know what's going on.
No, I know. I guess we'll find out after we're done recording. But hopefully she's back next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it. All I had for. Do you have anything else for the premiere?
Premiere episode. Any other notes? They have some new troupe members. They
did great. Which they're all fantastic. Every week they're incredible. I'm
trying to think of anything else. No. Oh, Alex is paired with Val. She was apparently a huge fan of Val, and she had started dancing on TikTok. I had deleted TikTok like 2 years ago, so I don't really.
You don't really keep up with that.
I'm not hip with the times anymore. I don't know. I'm just like saying that phrase to make myself sound worse than I am. Anyway, Scott Hoying and Riley. So he's from Pentatonics, and the funny thing is, so I was at the Lady Worlds Festival too. They did ELF, like the makeup brand, sponsored it, and they had the creative. I hope I get her title right. The creative director, she goes by Lipstick Nick on Instagram. So she was talking and just giving like beauty tips, like makeup tips, all this stuff. But she was in her explanation, she was talking about, I guess she was a makeup artist for Pentatonics when they were on tour.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, when I found out that Scott was on it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
like it was like a weird connection. She no longer, was with Pentatonics because she just wanted to settle down. But it was just like a cool connection.
kind of thing. Yeah, I love that.
Apparently, and I didn't even remember it until I went back to my notes from the first episode. Danielle Fishel recently had cancer.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
So that's why she did Stronger by Kelly Clarkson. She said to them, if you ever had a crush on me, you better vote. Derek made a joke about voting between the scores like before that. And then Alfonso, just when he was introducing Jen Affleck, and Jan, who is a new pro, who is on the Eras Tour with Taylor Swift. Yep. So apparently every week we are getting record-breaking numbers of votes. And part of me is wondering if everybody's
it's just the Swifties coming in, because of Jan.
But he's doing a great job.
He is.
But Alfonso tried to introduce her as like another Mormon wife with a secret life, and then afterwards, Julianne tried to make a rhyme, but she was saying welcome to the fam. Jan, but it doesn't.
It doesn't rhyme. But good try. Yeah.
But yeah, Jen. She's Latina and she dances on TikTok. Again, I haven't been watching TikTok. She had a baby a few months ago. She has 3 under 3. And
crazy.
Yeah, I thought that
really,
was
really gotta give it up to you, Jen.
Corey Feldman. Apparently he was friends with Alfonso Ribeiro, and they used to perform together and do stuff for like to tribute to Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was really cool. And he definitely had some dance experience. He also had scoliosis, so that was something that he struggled with. And then, I think, everybody else, those are all my main things.
Yeah.
I feel like the first night they do all the intro packages.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Yeah.
So,
but everybody did great.
One Hit Wonders night.
Yes.
So next.
Oh my gosh. This, again, I just feel like we're going to repeat ourselves with every week. There's, like we said at the beginning, there's so many great dancers. My first memorable dance for One Hit Wonder night was Jen and Jan's Quick Step to Take On Me. Mm-hmm. And I really, really enjoyed it. I think she really kind of came out of her shell for this dance. And I love the choreo from Jan, especially since I don't know, again, his background. I think he's more in kind of like the commercial dance world, which is, I think that's why he was on the Eras tour, where he probably does more like hip hop and contemporary jazz, all that stuff. But for like somebody, I don't know his ballroom experience, but I think he might be a little bit newer. I thought the choreography was great. And I thought she, again, really came out of her show and showed her personality in that dance. And I just really enjoyed that one a lot.
I did like that one too. I've enjoyed Jen's dancing over the past few weeks. I mean, I don't think she's like totally like top of the leaderboard, but she does seem to have like a natural ability to do it. Yeah. And I just find her enjoyable. I don't know if she's like top contender, unfortunately, but I found her enjoyable every week. Yeah.
And me, I don't know. I think I might have her dances in a few more weeks, but just just to bring this up, I remember, and I think might have been 2 weeks ago, because I remember when, I don't know if it was because she got scores that she didn't, like maybe she expected to get higher or whatever, but then like in the package the following week, she was like, she literally like said to Jan, am I a bad dancer? But yeah, that really like, I think hurt me to hear, because I just feel like as a fellow dancer, and I'm sure all of us fellow dancers can relate, that like if we don't do something up to, I guess, our own personal expectations, that can like really get our confidence down. But I think that why that really kind of got to me and really just, again, upset me hearing her say that was because, like you said, I think she just has that natural ability for performing. Mm-hmm. And I just felt bad that she was really hard on herself. But I really enjoyed her dances all throughout the season. So like you said, I don't think maybe top contender, but I think overall she's been a really, really enjoyable person to watch. So So the next one I had for One Hit Wonder night was Jordan and Ezra's Jive to Maniac. And I thought it was really, really, really good. I love the choreo from Ezra. The jive content and the gymnastics, like, combined, I thought were really great. And because I liked her salsa in week one, but I kind of agree with a lot of people that there wasn't a lot of salsa in it. Yeah. It was more kind of tricks, which, again, I loved. It was really fun to watch. But this really actually had a lot of jive content, and then also mixed her, like, gymnastics training in that as well. And then when she did like those Shanae turns they both did that. Like I think they were coming down the floor off the stairs. I was like, those were so impressive. So I was like, those were awesome. So I think again that really kind of thrusted her into like, oh yeah, she's a top contender like from week two. Like I thought it was great. Yeah,
that started to like her
upward trajectory.
Upward trajectory. I'm trying to think of who else. Yeah. No, I mean I love their dance too, and I've loved Jordan's dances more and more every week since this point. I mean, I loved like night one. She was the first out of the gate. Yeah. So that was kind of like she was great, but it's hard because the episode just proceeds, and then like you forget about like the person that went first on night one. Yeah. But no, she has steadily every week like increased.
Absolutely.
Since this point.
Yes. So then the next person I have was again Dylan and Daniela's Samba to Macarena.
Yes.
Which was so good. And I was like, again, going back to how much he's really adapted to the technique, I was like, the bachacatas and the samba rolls for somebody that does not dance was so good. It was
so there was a big thing at Lady Worlds because it like literally was the Lady Gang recorded a podcast. They were like the first ones the first night. They did the first set of the whole like the events of the thing, and they pulled up Dylan Efron's reel with Daniela and they talked about like him doing the whisks, and then I think he was doing he was doing the whisks, and I think he was doing bachacatas. I don't remember what. I think it was maybe just whisks.
I think it was whisks.
It was crazy because they were asking Kelty's like, I don't know, is he a good dancer or is he just hot? And they made us like take a poll, and I'm sitting there.
He's a good dancer.
And I'm like, they're like, is he a good dancer? And I'm like raising my hand, and I'm literally sitting there. We're in like the groups of all these different women, and I don't really know that many people there, but I'm like, no, he's a good dancer. I'm a ballroom dancer, and I know that he's a good dancer. Those are good whistles. They're not easy to do. Yes. He's doing them really well considering, and I'm like just advocating, and I'm like, okay, yeah, everybody thinks he's hot too, but he is a good dancer. It is not just because of that. I'm like, this is amazing. So anyway,
no, absolutely, and it's so funny. No, I love that, and I think it's so funny because like I saw this a few weeks ago. I think I was just kind of catching up on interviews and stuff. But there's like all these people that probably have never talked about ballroom dancing or techniques of ballroom dancing in their life. But then they'll be like, just like media outlets being like, oh, hey, we saw you did like the whisk challenge on the thing. And it's just like, I never thought that any media outlet would be like saying ballroom technique.
No, I know.
But it's just like, hey, it's like really becoming a thing
gosh,
now. But it's like so funny. But yeah, he's been great. The next I had, and I think maybe besides one more dance from her, this has been my favorite dance from her. Whitney and Mark's Cha-Cha to play that funky music. Where they were all, when she was in the red.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry. I'm mixing it up with the one next week.
Yeah, next week. Yeah. But I loved Mark's choreography to this. Again, I will say that for probably every dance that he does. It was just so, like, unique. And I really enjoyed it. And there was just so much fire and confidence with her. Again, I think even though with her tango... I'll just make sure I'm saying that. With her tango, it still had that attack. It still had that confidence. I think this, just like Jordan, it kind of thrust her to be like, oh, yeah, she's serious. Yeah. And I really enjoyed it. I thought that was great.
Yeah, no, I mean, I enjoyed her one the next week better.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I was like, she was doing well. And then what else did you have for night two?
I have... It
was like before I start going...
Yeah. Very quickly, Lauren and Brandon's Foxtrot to Love Fool. I thought it was very graceful, playful, great choreo from Brandon. And again, I think and this is what people, even though, and we'll kind of get into this with the, like, I guess, surprising eliminations and everything like that. But like, I really enjoyed her cha-cha the following week, but I did think this dance was better. Yeah. And so I really enjoyed that. And then again, going back to Elaine, her jive to Mickey with Alan. I thought it was just so playful, great jive content, and I really loved the costumes, like in the cheer outfits, and they had Alan in the cheer outfit too. Yeah, that was great.
It really just showed how Elaine's definitely able to handle the technique.
Yes.
Because again, like we said with Roberts last week, jive is not easy.
No.
So Elaine also picked it up, very quickly, and I think I'm confident I just hope she's okay.
I hope she's yes.
I hope she's okay. But no, I definitely, that one was that was very memorable too.
Yes. And then the last one I have for week 2 was, again, this is kind of just the same opinion as that I had with Whitney and for Jordan, that Alex and Val's jive was really what kind of, that is the dance I think that thrusted her also. I loved her cha-cha in the first week, but I just think this again was like, she's a real contender. Obviously, great choreography from Val. And again, I just think she just has this like playful lightness to her and her personality. So with the drive, that really, really fits. And I think I really enjoyed her too.
I loved that song, Mambo Number 5.
Mambo Number 5,
when I was young. Yes. I don't remember when it came out, but I remembered listening to it a ton as a kid. And I just was obsessed with that song. I have no idea. That was all of your...
That was it. That's all I have for that night,
I think I'm just going through, just other notes that I had. So Danielle, she apparently had a hamstring tear and had to get a massage, and then they broke some blood vessels or something. So she was like, I'm like, oh no, she's like week 2 already getting injured. But I mean, honestly, like as I caught up on the show, like I don't even remember them referencing it again. So she's been doing great. Angie and Emma danced to It's Raining Men, and they were wearing yellow ponchos. Good. It was funny. I was like, I mean, Andy's like not the most technical on the show, and he knows it, but like the performance is great.
Are always fun.
And he is improving.
He is.
Every dance.
He is.
Like he's still in the competition as of right now. And I think that's the thing is some people are like, why is he still there? Why is he still there? And I'm like, yes, I know technically he's not as good as some of the other ones that have gone home so far, but I'm just like, but he is improving every week, and I want to, like, he's dedicated, he's working hard, he's improving. There's, like, a performance aspect.
Yes. And I've heard a lot of people say that, like, I think Emma is the perfect partner for him, and I definitely agree about that, is that I think she just has that, like, really gentleness to her that's like, hey, I'm going to get the best out of you, but I'm not going to, like, make you... Like push you to where you can't do what you can't do, like that kind of thing. So I think a great partnership. So TikTok night.
Oh wait, I was just gonna.
Oh, were you gonna say something else?
Real quick.
Yeah.
I'm just spacing. I just lost my. Oh no, Corey and Jenna did the cha-cha to Baby Got Back, and then everybody was flipping out about Jenna's abs in this outfit. It was a whole big thing. Corey and Baron did go home that night, and I'm just skimming. Anything else? Yeah, no, I think that's
it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I talked about the whisk story.
Yes, the whisk.
Oh, and then Scott and Riley did the blue song, the I'm blue, da ba dee da ba da. Anyway,
that was really good. I love that dance too.
Yeah.
So week 3, yes. I wrote down a lot of the songs. I was like, okay, but a TikTok night, week 3. I really love this theme. It was super fun. So the first dance I had that was really memorable to me was Alex and Val's quick step. They actually went last this episode to pop music, and I just thought it was, again, really showcased her personality, and her playful energy just really shined in the dance. And I love that with Val with the choreo. He like makes obviously the TikTok choreo at the beginning, which they did with a lot of those moves. That they kind of even prefaced that at the beginning. They were like, dancers or like the pros are allowed to, or the couples are allowed to implement the TikTok moves into their routines and stuff like that. But I loved how he incorporated the TikTok choreo with the quick step. And I thought she did really, really good with that. And again, I just think her kind of level of dancing has really just, the bar has been raised every single week with her. And I really enjoyed that dance a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that one too.
Did you have anything else?
For that one, no.
No,
I didn't have any extra notes.
Okay.
I was like, when I was taking notes, I'm like, don't take as many notes, Camille, because you're going to go through 6 episodes in this one podcast.
One podcast, yes. I was like, I wrote like 2 sentences for dance. I'm like, I'm good. And the next one, oh my gosh, we were talking about this a few weeks ago, and I just still can't believe this dance. Whitney and Mark's Samba. Yeah. Truly incredible. Like, I don't even have words to describe how amazing it was.
I want to go watch it again right now.
No, I know, me too.
We can't make the podcast any longer.
No, exactly. So we'll watch it afterwards. But it was just so good. And the confidence that she had in that dance was truly incredible. And I love to see that.
Exactly. It just wove together so well. Like,
exactly.
I'm like, I need to watch this and study this.
Exactly. And I love, again, like just kind of with Alex and Val's dance, where like they would go into the whole like TikTok stuff, but then they would, okay, now we're going back into like a whisk or whatever for like in Samba content. And there was just no like it was so smooth in the transitions. I just thought it was great. And I said it was definitely one of the best Sambas I've seen on the show in a long time, if ever. So it was incredible.
It just was like, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I can't say anything else about that.
Yeah, that's it. That was it. It was just like, great. Yeah, and
I'm going to watch it.
Yes, I got to see it later. So the next one I had was Scott and Riley's Jazz to Like Ginny. And I was like, okay, Scott, let's go. Like, this was really, I think, his breakout performance. And just because I think this style really suited him. And he was really in his element. Because I imagine, like, with his own career, this is closer probably to the choreo that he usually would do, not ballroom, obviously. Yeah. And so he was really, really in his element. And I thought Riley's choreography was great as well. And then, like I said, the confidence, the energy. He was really, like, giving off a real diva energy. And I loved that. It was so great. I thought it was amazing.
No, I really liked his. Scott was good. I mean, I'm sad he went home last week. But,
yes, I know.
But I think he had a good run with at least the stuff that he got to perform.
Yes, absolutely. And then I had Dylan and Daniela's Foxtrot to, which one? Do you have the song? It was the, for Justin Bieber, Yukon. Was it Yukon? Yeah, Justin Bieber's Yukon. And it's just a Justin Bieber song. And I said, I think this might be one of the most sensual foxtrots I've ever seen in my life, because like it was just like them in a silhouette with like the like dark lights around them, and that song is very like sensual. And foxtrot is not really sensual; it's more kind of like jazzy, and it's like like 40s, 50s music, that kind of thing. So I just said I thought the storytelling was great. He's a really good storyteller, and he's such a good leading man. Yeah. I think that's something that I really enjoy watching him for, is that he's such a good leader to Daniela. Because a lot of times I feel like with male celebrities, there can be times where you can tell, and I don't know who mentioned this, it might have been Carrie Ann or Bruno, but it was like one of them where like, I like how you actually, like, again, are such a leading man, because Daniela is such a powerful dancer, which if you see her dance, you would see that. And like, he really doesn't, like, it's equal the way that they like support each other. It's not like Daniela's completely just dragging him around.
I think they said to him, I think Carrie Ann said it in one of the episodes, you're really taking time to learn the technique, and I see that. Yeah. And I think it might be in the next episode, but I think Julianne even made a point that like Dylan is pretty good with the smooth dances. Yeah. And even stronger than maybe his Latin. I mean, like, I think, obviously he did well with Latin, but I think he like even his smooth dances he seems to be like picked up more.
Yeah. And so that was pretty much all I had for TikTok. Now, do you have anything else?
Charli D'Amelio was a guest star.
Yes, I thought it was great.
Opening number, and she did another thing she did another dance with Mark.
She did another dance with Mark. It was like that whole Samba Wish trend, like that song, and they had the troupe with them. I remember that. And then I think they did another TikTok dance with the troupe, or she did. Yeah. But it was great to see her back. It was awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, she's still amazing. I did want to go see Anne Juliet when she was on.
Oh, I know, me too.
I didn't get a chance. But I was like, darn. But, yeah, I think, so Lauren and Brandon went home. She had done a cha-cha to work from home. Honestly, I thought it was really good.
Me too.
I would have loved to see more from her.
Me too.
And Brandon. I'm trying to think of what else. Jordan and Ezra did that tango.
Oh, tango was incredible.
Was amazing.
Yeah.
Also, Danielle and Pasha did they danced to Man-Child by Sabrina Carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so Sabrina Carpenter called Danielle official. And at first I'm like, oh my gosh, like what? And I was like, oh wait, because they did the Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
Girl Meets
World, yeah.
I'm mixing up
the names. But yeah, they did the...
Boy Meets World was the original. And then
Girl Meets World was with Sabrina Carpenter,
That's where Sabrina Carpenter's from. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
I never watched that show. It was a little...
Like past your time.
Past my time. But I was like, I knew this existed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
It's so cool. Yeah. It's so awesome.
I don't know. That was really it.
That was it?
I think... Hilaria and Gleb, like all 7 of her children were there watching. I just was astounded by watching them all sitting there watching. And then Robert and Whitney, at some point, he said something to her, please extract the Riz out of me. And that was the whole thing. And I think this is when Brandon left, then they've been doing this whole thing on social media of all of the pros that are being eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing all the social media content around like, all the pros that have been eliminated. And then they recently just did one that they're summoning the next pro. And then they were all
doing that.
Halloween
That's
night.
so
Anyway.
funny. I love that.
I really think I'm nuts. Anyway, if you just saw this with no audio, you'd have no.
Yeah, if you sound really weird, but yeah. Okay, Disney night.
Episode 4,
Disney night, which is always such a fun theme night. I always love Disney night. So my first memorable dance from this was Scott and Riley's Salsa to Bob to the Top, which I love that song.
Yes.
And I just love that song so much, and I love High School Musical, so it's like, when I saw that they were doing that, and then they were dressed as Ryan and Sharpay, I'm like, this is so perfect, and I just thought the choreography also from Riley for this dance was amazing. I love the costumes, again, how they got into the actual character.
Yes.
And they just performed it so well, and even though, because I think the judges might have pointed this out, and a few people I saw that were recapping it, I think just because of the height difference, they had a few little issues with the underarm turns where you could see that they were like ducking and stuff, but they was maybe out of sync. But besides that, it was still a great routine, and I really, really enjoyed it.
So the other thing that was crazy, Lucas Graybill, who played Ryan in the movie, this is so confusing. There's so many words I'm about to say. Apparently, Scott Hoying played Ryan's love interest in High School Musical, the series, which I never watched. I just know Olivia Rodrigo's from that.
Yes.
And apparently, so, like, they connected as, like, friends and whatever. And so Lucas Graybill was there watching. And it's also funny because I've been watching the Halloween Town movies again. Lucas Graybill's in Halloween Town 3, Halloween Town High. And anyway, but it was just funny because they were really committed to the character, because even when Julianne was interviewing them, they stayed in character. And I was like, yes. So, no, it was great. I'm so happy to have seen that one.
Me too. I love that. Like, when I heard they were doing that song, I'm like, this is going to be so much fun. Yeah, it was great. The next one I had, oh my gosh, this was truly so incredible. Alex and Val's reunion's waltz to Once Upon a Dream, the more like eerie style of this song. The storytelling of this was truly incredible. And again, the choreo was amazing. I think, this was
Maleficent.
Yeah, Maleficent, and the costuming, just like every Disney night, is always great. Her frame was amazing, and just overall such a great performance. And yeah, I think one of my favorites of the entire season. Yeah,
I think that one I did enjoy too.
And the next one I had was, I think, again, like you were saying that this was such a good one, was Whitney and Mark's jazz to The Rumor It Happened from Hamilton.
Oh yes.
That one was truly insane. Like, it's just so good. And it was cool because, as you guys probably know, Mark is such like a multi-talented artist. I saw him like post on Instagram that he was like, I think, one of the singers from the band, and he was like going over like, because I think he arranged that like kind of arrangement for that song that the band was going to play. So like he wrote the arrangement and came up with it, which I think was super cool. But again, I'm just going to keep repeating myself with how amazing Mark's choreography is. I might even just have to say it just as many times and then I'll be done, just because it's just so good. And She also obviously again the costumes were great.
Mm-hmm.
And again I think she just got into the character so well, and her upward trajectory is just so clear. Mm-hmm. Every dance is just so good, and I just really love that dance. And that was all I have from Disney. No wait, do I have one more? Oh no wait, I have two more. Yeah. Was Elaine's quick step to the Space Mountain theme, which when I heard that, I was like, wait, how's this going to be? Because I love Space Mountain because I'm a huge Disney kid.
It was closed the only time I've been to Disney.
Really? Oh no.
But it's okay.
You got to make your way back there.
I'll go back again.
Do that. But
eventually.
Yes, but it was just so cool, especially because when I heard that they were doing this song and I saw the performance, it kind of brought me back to when Charlie and Mark did the Simpsons theme song routine where they were in that. Because both songs don't really have a consistent. I know, and I think we raved about that dance too when we were talking about it. But both of those songs don't have like a very consistent rhythm to it, or consistent counts. It kind of just like one long melody throughout the entire song. Mm-hmm. And she really adapted to it very well. I love seeing Alan as an alien. That was really funny. Yeah. It's just like he's always committed. He's always committed to the bit. It was so funny because everybody was like, what do you guys prefer, Donkey Alan or Alien Alan? It's like, which one? But I thought that was great. So I have one more dance that I wanted to just recap from Disney Night, but obviously again everybody's so great. Which dance? It was Jordan and Ezra's quick step? Yeah, quick step. To Princess of the Frog, and I love that movie. And again, she really obviously just fits the character of Princess Tiana so well, and then also. It was cool because they were like, we actually have, because I think they actually based, it was just like Elaine's Space Mountain thing where I think they, Jordan's dance was based on the Tiana's Bayou Adventure, California Adventure, or Disneyland. I don't know what park it's at. Yeah, it's one of those parks in California. And it's funny because they were like, oh, at the end, now they have, or it's like featuring actual things from the ride or something like that. That's what like Alfonso was saying. But again, I really love the character. Quick step content was amazing, and again, I just think the upward trajectory of Jordan as well has been great every week, and so that was the last dance I had for Disney Night. Yeah, no, Jordan again. That was like now she with the quick step. I think it was great. Yeah. They did a great opening number. Disney Night. Yes. They had like. It was so good. The guy was there as Lumiere, and my mom's like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "I don't know." And then they announced him as like a dancer and like a traveling show of the film. So they did a great performance. Like all the opening numbers every week have been great. Alfonso and Julianne are getting more involved in it too, which is so awesome to see. I think. All right, I just talked about Julianne saying that Dylan's ballroom looks more comfortable than Latin. I agree. Yes, I agree. I said that. Hilaria went home and they did the Star Wars quick step. Which honestly, I enjoyed that too. I thought it was great. I did too. I think she's been doing great. Andy and Emma did Ratatouille. Which is so cute. And Emma was dressed as a mouse. Robert and Whitney did the song from Zootopia, and it's cool because Robert's voicing a character in the new film. Robert Furwin. Yes, that's right. I forgot about the name. And then, that's all I had. Okay. Yeah. So, Disney Night was great. So, week 5 dedication night, which is always really, really special. It's either dedication night or most memorable year, but I always really enjoy these theme weeks just because, just like we talked about at the beginning of the episode, I think a lot of times dance can be used as a way to really express yourself and tell a story. So, this is really the week that people get to do that for themselves in their personal lives, which I think was great. The first dance that I had. And there's obviously with most memorable year or dedication night, there's a lot of contemporaries. So there's gonna be a lot of contemporaries that are my favorites on this list. Yeah. But my first one was Alex and Val's contemporary. I absolutely loved that dance. It was very emotional, graceful, great storytelling, and I really loved the incorporation of her sister. I thought that was super cool. And I remember because I think Alex does a lot of like vlogging on YouTube, like for the rehearsals with Val and everything, and she was like vlogging her sister and everything, and it's like, oh hey, you're learning this, and it was just so cute. So I really enjoyed that dance a lot. Yeah, I think this is the first time ever that they've wanted them to incorporate the person that they're dedicating it to, which I really like in the routine, which it was really nice. And so she talked about the story about her sister and the love they have for each other and everything. Yeah. It was really well done. And she got some good scores on it too. Yeah, so I thought that was great. The next one I had, and I don't know if this is going to be, I don't want to say controversial, but just because I know there was like a mistake in this, but I still really enjoyed it, was Whitney and Mark's contemporary. Yeah. Besides the out of sync, which it was pretty noticeable, especially I think as dancers, like you can see when that is taking place. But I didn't really think it took much away from the dance. It was only for like a few seconds. The choreography from Mark again is just so good, and she's just so. And I think what I heard from her is that, especially in a contemporary where it's something that's so personal and like meaningful to you, you can just be so like invested in what you're doing that it can just be easy to get ahead of the music.
Yeah.
But I really loved because it was for her husband Connor, and I just thought it was, and he was great. Like he was such a good dancer.
Like
when he was
everybody that they incorporated really well.
We did really well. I was like, wait, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But I really loved that dance a lot.
Yeah. I really did enjoy it. I mean, honestly, like you said, like all the contemporaries are amazing. I am just happy that no one went home.
Me too.
Night. And my mom was like, when they do a night like this, nobody should go home. And
Absolutely.
I'm like, yeah, no. Like I get it, and they didn't do that.
And of course they're gonna like they'll play it up and be like, okay, we're gonna like, and then. But I'm glad they don't do that.
They have a time slot to fill. So
they do. They gotta do that exactly. So the next one I had was Robert and Whitney's Contemporary. And this was very, very emotional to watch. And I've heard a lot of people, like, this really touched so many people. And I remember Nick, on the Viral Files, Nick interviewed Whitney and Robert, and he was talking about this dance and also got emotional on that podcast. And I just think this obviously is very, very important to him because he was really, this whole dance was really a tribute to his mom, really kind of taking... kind of, I guess, being there when obviously his dad was tragically killed, and still being kind of that figure is like, oh, my dad is still here through my mom. And I just thought that was really sweet. And you could tell the emotion that was in that dance. And I feel like Whitney had such an amazing partner for him with that. And yeah, I just love the dance a lot. Yeah,
no, I think it was amazing. I mean, everybody was in tears. And I think because Bindi won, I think it was like shortly after the dad had passed.
Yeah.
Like, Derek knows them. There's like a connection with the family. There's a whole history. Like everybody knows that there's this like big like, and I think sometimes you feel like, oh, like he's a favorite to, like he can be a favorite to win because of this connection and this history and everything. But like, when you put all of that aside, like in a moment like this with this dedication, it's just so meaningful.
It's so meaningful.
It's such a wonderful performance.
Yeah. And I think, just like Derek said, I think like the world needs the Irwins, and that is so important. And I remember for the most memorable year for Bindi's, she also did a contemporary that was for her dad, and that was also very emotional. So I think both of these dances are really going to be put in kind of the history books of like, oh, everybody's going to go back and watch these for a long time. So I love that dance.
Did you have any other ones? I mean, they're amazing ones.
Yes, that was so amazing. Elaine and Alan's Foxtrot and the incorporation. Oh my gosh, that was so good. Just with, what was it?
Lisa.
Lisa
and Walters, who was with her in the Parent Trap.
Yes. Just the incorporation of Lisa was incredible. Like, again, like everybody that did, like, were incorporated in these dances were so good.
Yes.
And it wasn't even like, again, Alan had her like in a little bit of the routine. It was like in 2/3 of the routine, which I loved.
Yeah.
And I love the song, obviously, from the movie. And yeah, it was just so fun.
It celebrated female friendships, and then Alfonso was like, "This is a good audition for you to be on the show next season."
Yes.
I mean, she's on Abbott Elementary. She's like pretty popular now. So,
yes. Everybody was like,
could do that.
Yes, they were like, everybody petitioned for Lisa and Connor to both be on the season next season, the show next season. And then the last one I had was Jen and Jan's Vianney's Waltz, the one that was tribute to her mom. Or dedication to her mom, and I really, really liked that one. It was just so sweet. I love the choreo. Vianney's Waltz is not easy, and I thought, again, she handled it very well. The content was really good, and she was just very graceful. Again, even though she's not a trained dancer, I just think she has such like a kind of just a natural ability to kind of perform, and I really, really enjoyed that one a lot.
Yeah, no, it was really great, honestly. I'm just trying to think real quick. Was that all you had?
That's all I have for this night, yeah.
We did have Kim Johnson-Herjavec as a guest judge.
Which was so fun.
Former pro on the show.
Yes.
And then, I'm trying to think. We skimmed. Grant was in the audience.
Yes.
They just flashed. They didn't say anything, but I saw him.
He was there,
Former Bachelor was there watching. So we did see him. And then Dylan and Daniela did the, they brought his younger sister, who's like 5 years old. And
that was great.
They did the song from The Greatest Showman. So it's like, I'm there dancing with my sister to a song sung by my brother and Zendaya. And it's like,
so it's like, God. Wait, yeah. But that was
like,
so great.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Jordan and Ezra also did the Viennese Waltz with her father.
Yes, that was so good.
Another emotional one.
Yeah.
And they said, he did such a great job too. So they were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Scott did, and Riley did a foxtrot.
To his own song.
Yes.
Yeah, it was to his own song.
With his husband, and they announced that they're having a child.
So congratulations, guys. Yes. That was awesome.
And then Danielle and Pasha did, they had Mr. Feeney, the actor that played Mr. Feeney. And they did the jive, and they did the Boy Meets World theme song.
Which was really fun.
And it was her first date.
Yes.
And, that was like a cool tribute moment.
Yes.
And, no one goes home. And that was a big thing.
So that was a great thing. I love Dedication Night. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
So now we are going to get into last week's episode was... I think one of the best episodes I've seen, like, of the entire show, at least for a theme night, was Wicked Night. Mm-hmm. And I really love this theme. Like we talked about, that I heard that they went all out for the production, and logistical planning was like a huge, like, undertaking. So they just did an amazing job with it. Mm-hmm. From the band, the singers, the costumes, everything like that. Everything was great. And then, so first dance I had was Mark and Whitney's Quick Step to Popular. And I just loved it so much. I think her, like, bubbly personality got to kind of come out. But, like, we've seen her confident side and really, like, fiery side and, like, her cha-cha and everything like that. But now this is really like, oh, I'm playing Glinda, the, like, little, like, like, really kind of, like, preppy, that kind of, like, character. And that was really fun to see, kind of her playful side come out.
Yeah, I mean, that quick step was great.
It was great. And they really sped up the song. So it was, like, to make it, because the original song is not, like, a quick step speed,
I mean,
so...
Not the speed.
Not the speed.
Like, the rhythm, but, like, not the speed.
Not the speed, yeah.
That one was
great.
That one was great.
And then, next one I had was Jordan and Ezra's Rumba to For Good. And I love that song. It always makes me cry. It was amazing choreography from Ezra. The turns were great. Like, there were so many turns because she was like going around her, doing all these pivots and stuff. Yeah, it was amazing. Mm-hmm. And the Rumba technique, I thought she really, really did very well with. And it seems like she does very well with slower dances. That's what I've noticed from her, is that like she really is able to get into the emotion of the dance and into the character. So I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, me too. I mean, and I do love that song. There were some of the other performances that I loved.
Yes.
More, but I don't know, whichever. And I guess the biggest thing too is, like, this did get me excited for Wicked Part 2. I did see the Broadway play, so I know the whole plot.
Yes.
If anybody saw Part 1 and you did not see the Broadway play, then you are in for it in Part 2. There is a massive plot twist.
Massive plot twist, yes.
Part 1 is, like, crazy, but Part 2 ties it into The Wizard of Oz. And anyway.
Yes, you'll be in for a treat with that, yes. So the next one I had was Danielle and Pasha's Argentine Tango to No Good Deed. And in my opinion, this was her best dance. I thought, or at least one of. It was just so incredible.
Yeah.
That character really came out of her, that she had that attack, she had that fire, and the choreography from Pasha, I think, really fit Daniela or Danielle, and it was just not Danielle, not his wife, but Danielle. It was just incredible, and I thought she really just did great with that. Yeah,
and I think, like, the prior week, Carrie Ann was kind of like, look, I feel like she's like, I'm just trying to give you the feedback now. All of your dances kind of look the same. This was clearly different.
Different.
It gives, I mean, granted, it lucked out that was the song that she got, and it was very, like, Argentine Tango is just very different, but hopefully she'll, in the coming weeks, be able to embrace that, like, the variety in the dance.
Yes. Yeah. And the next one I had was Alex and Val's Jazz to What Is This Feeling, and, man, she did that double pirouette. It was so good. I was just like, man, Alex, that's so impressive. For somebody that's like... The loathing thing, exactly.
The book and the whole...
Yeah. I did. It was a whole thing. I loved it. And I just said, she's such an amazing dancer. And really, again, kind of like Whitney with playing that whole playful character. Alex got to really play that playful character as well in this dance. And I thought that suited her perfectly.
Yeah, honestly, this was my favorite dance of Alex and Val.
Me too.
It really was. I mean, and I guess, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased with Wicked. But no, this was my favorite dance of theirs. It
was so good. And I have a couple more. So the last two I had, was Robert and Whitney's Jazz to the Dancing Through Life. Yes. And I love that song so much. And it's so perfect that they gave him this song because it's like such his personality. And I was like, this was like obviously makes sense with the song because in the show it's a very, very big musical number where Fiyero is like going around the stage and jumping around and everything like that. So it really made sense. This was going to be like a whole musical extravaganza on the stage right there. The whole background.
The wheels are, I don't remember exactly where they were located in the movie, but there's all like the roundabout stuff and they were like walking through the circle.
The little circles and the little wheels and stuff.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. And again, he's such just a natural performer, and I really showed through this dance. So I thought it was great.
That one was also amazing.
Yeah.
Did you have any other?
I had one more. Was again another Rumba, Dylan and Daniela's Rumba to I'm Not That Girl, and again it just going back to the Latin technique that I thought he did really well with. Again, hip movements, great. I would never have expected that from him from the beginning of the season. And turns also, I know, exactly.
He's kind of lanky, so like to do this is like really...
To do this.
I mean, Danielle has mastered this with like Iman and other folks.
Iman and Dwight and everybody. Just, so it's like, at least she has somebody that's her height now, or at least not...
Closer
to her height.
To her
Absolutely. And I just said he's definitely the surprise of this season. I would have never expected this when they announced him. I was like, oh, he's going to be this good. Yeah, really great. And I don't know if we mentioned this, but they had John M. Chu, the director of Wicked Part 1 and 2, and I love all his movies, but he was the guest judge on this episode, and I really enjoyed his critique as well, and him being there, so that was really cool.
Yeah, I did. I did as well. Did you have any other dances?
That was it from Wicked Night.
I think they did make a note. We're halfway through the season. I'm trying to think of what else.
The only thing I was going to say before our last point was just, we kind of said this with Lauren and Brandon already, and Scott and Riley, but there were, again, the surprising eliminations. Those two were specifically surprising, but then even though it wasn't surprising that he went home like earlier in the competition, I was pretty disappointed that Baron and Britt went home the second week. Yeah. Because I really thought, especially when he did that samba in week 2 for the One Hit Wonder night, I saw the potential there that he could have made it at least 2 or 3 more weeks, and I wish he could have done that because I think what Britt was able to bring out of him was really special, and I just wish he could have stayed a little bit longer. But his 2 dances were great, so yeah.
And then Scott went home this night. Oh, Elaine and Alan, they did the contemporary to Defying Gravity.
That was great.
Went up on
the thing and did the whole thing.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
So good.
It was so good, and then.
Channeling her inner Elphaba.
Yeah, that was, I mean, honestly, it was great. It was a very well done episode. Any chaos they had to get it sorted, it was worth it, I think.
Yes.
And then I think, so that's all Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
We didn't even get into Golden Bachelor.
No, we have not.
I guess right now, like, I don't know. Who do you think could win Dancing with the Stars?
Oh my gosh.
Based on where we're at right now before watching Halloween Week, which is happening right now.
This is such a hard pick because I've gone back and forth between this like over the weeks. Yeah. I really think if I had to narrow it down now to the top 4, I'm probably gonna say Whitney, Robert. I'm probably gonna say Whitney, Robert, Jordan, Alex. That's probably my.
Dylan?
I don't know because I could see Dylan either being 4th or 5th. I could see that. I could definitely see that. I could see them either making it to the semifinals or finals. I'm just trying to think if like Jordan would make it over Dylan, and I'm just trying to think how would that shape out because I definitely think Robert, Whitney, and Robert. Who was the other person? I said Robert, Whitney, and Alex. I think those are shoe-ins for the finale. Yeah. Those 3.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm also like, I want Danielle Fishel to go further, but I don't know. I really think it's the irony's not lost on me. I feel like the Halloween week, being that they said that last week was halfway through, I think it really boils down to how they perform tonight.
That's a big deal.
Because I think it's like if you don't, so I don't know. So it's the irony's not lost on me that it's happening while we're
yes, and actually it's 6 minutes away from the episode ending, so the person's about to go home right now, I guess. So we'll see what happens.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Yes,
but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of mostly in the same boat, but
it's so hard though. I have no idea.
I don't know which way the voting's gonna go. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. Maybe let's go. We did our recap. Let's go to Golden Bachelor.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Golden Bachelor.
Yes.
So the first night, I because of all Lady World and just like catching up and everything, it took me a while to catch up. So I guess the first night they had 2 episodes.
Yes.
Which was kind of surprising to me. Yeah. When I was on Hulu, and the episodes are only an hour. Overall,
which makes it easier to recap.
It's easier to recap, but I feel like this season has just flown by.
Yes.
So at this moment, there are 2 women left I guess they're doing a women tell-all
tomorrow night, and then the finale is next Wednesday.
So by the time we record again, like episode 2,
I think both shows will be done.
Both shows will be done. So
we can kind of give our thoughts on how those ended.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm just gonna try to go through. We're just gonna
go through quick.
Yeah. So the biggest thing that we went into the season was we knew Mel had made the comments on the podcast about the women and the whole thing, and so like they kind of nip it in the bud. At the beginning of the episode, they kind of had like some quotes and things that were being said at the beginning of like, it doesn't matter how old you are, falling in love feels magical. I'm nervous that the women are going to have misconceptions about me. And then they had clips of the women making comments, like reacting to the comments that he had said. So like that was kind of like the promo thing.
That was kind of the promo, and they were like kind of like, oh yeah, like maybe prefer he didn't say that, but he should give it a second chance. It's kind of like the whole attitude towards everybody. Yeah.
And then they had like just the interview with the family. His sons that said that they're going to throw a party when he's away. So he's an attorney now. He used to be on the LA Rams. I think he was on another team prior, but I think he finished up his football career on the LA Rams. So his father died during COVID. His wife had filed for divorce because she found someone new. So he's been single for about 5 years. I didn't know much about this.
Yeah,
but,
me neither.
But yeah, so that was just kind of a little bit of the background. And then, I don't know, did you have any other comments for that before we get to the limo entrances?
Limo entrances, yes. That's all I had. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Jesse kind of asked him what's with his shoes because they're like, he looks like he's wearing more like comfortable shoes. And then the woman, Cindy, was the first one out of the limo, and I think I don't know, did she say she felt like Cinderella?
Yes, I think she said like that. Yeah.
It's not, I mean, and there's spoilers, it's fine. She's one of the last two. I kind of had a feeling she was going to
go far, that's what I thought too.
Go far, I did kind of like her.
Me too.
Yeah, Carol had, like there were some good limo entrances. Carol threw him like, I guess a football or baseball. I forget.
Baseball, yeah.
Because she said, "Oh, you're a good catch." Her nephew works for the LA Dodgers, and apparently he's a fan of her nephew.
Yes,
which like, oh my
Freddie
God.
Freeman. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool.
I had one of the ones I had that was really funny was Terry with the puppet, where she was just going around. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So good. Where she was like, why did you say that on the podcast, Mel? I know. They were like playing that up still, but it was just so funny. And like while she was on the show, that puppet went with her pretty much most places, which was really funny. It was great. And then Peg with the bomb suit, which is really funny because she works. I don't know. Does she still work for the fire department?
She works for the fire department, but she used to also do like
the bomb division of that. And I thought that was really creative. And spoiler alert, also, she is also one of the final two.
Yeah.
So,
and it was also crazy that, like, I commented later on, like, these women have such, like, amazing creative careers.
Yeah.
Like, all of them, like, they were talking about different things. I'm like, what in the world? Like,
I know. They're like, I do this, and I do this. Yeah, it's so crazy. And
it's just like, okay, yeah, women can do anything.
Absolutely.
Fine.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm like just the collective group of this women just had such interesting career paths.
Yeah.
Like, that, it was just crazy to just acknowledge that. Sandra's back. But she wasn't there for herself. She was introducing her twin sister, Andra. And I was like, that is a very interesting name choice of Sandra and Andra. Andra. I don't know how she pronounced it. But yeah, that's all I had as far as like the limo entrances.
That's pretty much all I had. Yeah. Like I just said, there was a lot of sports entrances, obviously because he was on the LA Rams.
Yeah.
And then again, like you had said, this was really a great group of women with different personalities and a lot of cool, again, like you said, jobs and things like that. So yeah, it was really cool.
And then he did start the speech to the women once they came in from the limo entrances, and he apologized. He squashed it, and it was all good. I think, I'm glad. I had heard Susan say on a podcast, because as you can see later on, Susan shows up. So Susan shows up, and she is, Susan said on a podcast about how she's like, I think Mel squashes it at the beginning and everybody moves on, and I hope people can do that. And I'm like, and I felt like they did. I felt like the editing, what he actually said sounded genuine and great. So I'm like, great, I'm glad we can move forward.
Yeah, me too.
From that. I think, and then just like the cocktail hour and everything, one of them's a dentist, and she was like, oh, you bill and I drill. He gave Sherry the first impression rose.
Yes.
And, she, didn't make it too much further, but, I think he had like a good connection, just like with the women, just talking to them.
Yeah.
It wasn't a romantic
because he had
connection.
Exactly. Because he had like a immediate connection with Cindy, and that was like his first conversation, and they talked about their kids. Yeah. And then Cheryl gets the first kiss, and they have a very like playful connection because she has a very like upbeat personality. And then
was it Carol or Cheryl? I was getting so mixed up.
Yeah, I was like, okay. It's one of those two. Yeah.
It was one of those
two. One of those two.
Either way, they both made it pretty far.
Yes. And then I said, I just got to throw this out there because I love her. I love Alexandra so much. She's like, when she's just like, she's such like a firecracker in her ITMs.
I don't know if I want a rose or a pillow. And then she was like, oh, but that's okay. When I see Mel, I wake up.
Yeah.
It was, that's a thing. I don't know if it's because like I was watching it so fast to try to catch up. But I was just like, there are some great personalities here that we are barely getting to see.
I know.
It's like, oh my gosh, they better have the Goldens on Paradise again.
I hope so, because like you were saying, this season has just flown by. We're like, night 1, it's 23. And now like 3 weeks later, we're at 2. It's just like, how does that even work? It's so weird. But yeah. And so then Cheryl, because I was going to say Cheryl gets the one-on-one date.
Oh, well, yeah. So then they had the rose ceremony. That's the end of like episode 1.
Yeah.
There was a part where Teenage Dream was playing in the background, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're gonna totally like rip on him because of this whole like younger age thing. So the women go to the house. Yes, Cheryl gets the one-on-one, the romantic date. And then they did like the princess date.
Yes.
And Ashley, I had said, like, I'm surprised this was, like, the first one-on-one date, like, right out of the gate to do the princess date. Like, goes to the other room. She picks out her outfit, the whole thing.
They have the nice car and the whole thing. Yeah.
Nicole kisses Mel before he leaves with Cheryl. We'll get back to that.
Yes.
Cheryl, like, talks about she did, like, competitive bike racing. And she started when she was 32.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy because I'm like, I'm 34. And I was just like, wow. Like, it's cool to hear her say, like, something she started that much later in life and like continued and was such a big part of her life. And I was like, I see that like, I started ballroom dance when I was 25 and, and I was like, okay, 25 is like not 32, but whatever. It's just like seeing
how that can happen.
Your life, all these different things. So I thought it was cool. She has 51 trophies from it.
I love that. It's so good.
And then he kind of is like Mel's kind of reacting to saying like, wow, she's like a daredevil. And I generally like Cheryl a lot.
Me too.
She talks the whole story about her son, who's 43 now. His father left her at the hospital and never showed up when she went to go give birth. She moved back home with her dad. Her husband came back like after a year essentially and took Tyson for a week. But they eventually were able to, connect with him. I'm assuming they separated, but they kept an amicable relationship. They reconnected. Tyson stayed in touch with his dad, but then unfortunately he did pass away. And it was just like, just hearing that like fresh out of the gate, like this such an intense story. And I think that's something that they've said about like the Goldens, not that the younger ones couldn't have lived had a lot of life experience, but the Goldens, even just from the amount of time that they've had to live life, they have had so many more life experiences. So it's like these conversations, when they do get to them, are very deep.
Very deep,
and I just was like very, like, I remembered listening very intently to Cheryl telling her story. Like, even just taking the notes for myself, I went back like a few times to like listen to it.
Yeah, I really like Cheryl a lot.
Yeah, did you have any thoughts about the date? Like, I thought they had a good connection.
Yeah, I thought they had a good date. I thought they had a good connection. Like you had said, I just think Cheryl has such a very, like, bubbly, upbeat personality. But then, like you had said, she can get very introspective and serious as well and really want to be vulnerable, too. So I think that's a cool mix. I think it's a great mix for, like, just any romantic partner. But I think especially, like, on a show like this where you get to see that. I just think it's really cool. It's like, oh, we can have this fun day and everything like that. But then, okay, we're going to talk about something that's really important and kind of serious to me. Yeah. And so, I really like Cheryl a lot.
Yeah. And then, so they had the group date.
Yeah.
Paula Abdul. Cheer competition.
Yes.
But I don't know if it was Alexandra, but there was one woman that was like, oh, Mel's good looking and it's good because otherwise she needs to put a bag over their head. And I was like, what is going on? Like, they just say these things and I'm like, what did they just say?
I know.
Oh my gosh. Cindy's daughter apparently is a backup dancer for Diana Ross, and Mel knew her growing up.
And she was like, oh yeah, Diana was like, she was right next to my house. Like, so crazy, yeah.
Then they had a pool party at the mansion, and then everybody was noticing that Nicole is like constantly after Mel. Again, we'll get back to that.
We'll get back to that, yes.
And then, then they had another rose ceremony. A few more of the women went home. Episode 3 then, so...
It kind of starts out with the Nicole drama.
Yeah, so Terry called Nicole out while they're talking in the group, and the women aren't, like, okay with this, like, about... think she basically was saying about that he took all of his time at the pool party. And, but, like, honestly, Nicole was just, like, very composed about it. And what's so crazy is I feel like they have these moments where they're like, we're going to have drama, and then, okay, we're just going to move on.
Yeah.
Like, it never gets addressed.
It never gets, yeah.
And that's the through line is, like, Nicole goes home before any of the stuff really blows up.
Well, yeah.
So I don't know what this Women Tell All episode is going to be tomorrow. And the other crazy thing is that, like, I think Ben said it on Almost Famous podcast, because I've been trying to catch up to their stuff, too. They basically... I think he said something of, like, what we loved about the Golden franchise is, like, it's so wholesome and the whole thing. And he's like, I feel like this was edited like a Bachelor season.
Yes.
There's a villain. There's drama.
Yes.
There's, like, it's just not edited the same way.
No, it is not.
And maybe it's because it's an hour and they have to whiz through it. And, like, this stuff with Nicole did happen.
Yes.
So, like, they're not blowing it up the way they do.
But it's still edited like, oh, I'm going to go tell him. And it's like, oh, they're not here for the right reasons. And then... maybe like they don't believe it at first, and then they go like figure it out. So it seemed like that, yeah.
But even Nicole, like, she kind of just handles the feedback well. Like, it doesn't turn into like
not like that. Yeah,
we didn't quite get that. So then they did a group date, which they did a roast of Mel, and they had Jared Freed.
Jared Freed, I love Jared.
Jared Freed is a comedian. He's on the
Betches podcast,
which I don't listen to. Like, I follow their Instagram, and I'm like, I've seen clips of the podcast, but I just cannot listen to it. But I've heard clips and they're funny. But I've always enjoyed that he's done like the Bachelor commentary on his Instagram, and like it's just been like there were so many times like I'd watch the episode and I'd go like to his Instagram and be like, I want to hear what he's saying, like I want to hear what he's saying, because he does such a good recap. So when they pulled him out, I was screaming. I'm like, oh my gosh, Jared Freed.
I love Jared Freed so much. And I guess he's the perfect guy for this date. He's very funny. He's very outgoing. And he knows, like, I forgot who he said it to, but he was like, oh, whoever doesn't get, like, picked, because he was, I guess, they're like, whoever was, like, the funniest was going to get, like, a one-on-one time. And he was like, oh, the rest of you guys, we'll get a cocktail together. Let's go out. Yeah, and I was like, he's so ready.
And he was just like, I'm 40, which is the age Mel wishes you were. And then they went around, he's like, you guys are going to all just stand up and, like, roast, or not stand up, you're going to roast him. Yeah. They're all writing. Carol couldn't see. He's, like, walking around looking for her glasses. Terry uses a ventriloquism with the puppet. Monica... And then I think, like, even Cheryl at one point was like, I don't even know what a roast is. But Monica B. I guess she's a flight attendant or something.
Oh, that was really funny.
Or she roasted about the podcast. She made a joke about Nicole, but it was, like, it was okay. Like, it was like they made the joke and then moved on. But then she said about, like, well, ladies, you know, like, as a flight attendant, I just want to let you know the exits are there.
Here and there.
Like,
that was so good.
It was so good.
And then I love Amy's stand up. And then Jared did the impression. He was like, you sound like you're talking to my mom.
Or like he's like, you sound like you're my mom, just complaining about everything. She's from Short Hills, New Jersey. Yes. By the way, I realized I'm like, oh, she's a New Jersey mom. Yes. So that is also funny. Yes.
And then I love how he was like, Mel, do not marry her. She sounds like my mom.
I know. I think that was she was funny though.
She was really funny.
Nicole, I had a note. I don't know if it was like sometimes my note is like a run-on. And I don't know if this was in like the caption thing. It said vegan, but we'll eat salmon on occasion. I don't know if it was there, but then I guess Nicole made a joke. And then at one point she said something. She was like, oh, Amy was so appalled she had no words and you can all thank me for that. This was like Amy was rambling. Yeah. I think it was like they were all cool with each other. It was like, fine. And then did you have any more comments about the roast before we get into the dinner?
That was it all I had for it.
So he picks Nicole for the dinner after. Yes. She gets very direct with her questioning about like what happened with his divorce. Like he gives her a rose. And like I'm perceiving this at the time of like, you know, she's really serious. She's trying to like understand. And like, you know, I appreciate her direct questioning. Yes. Of just being very like cut to the chase, get to the point, this whole thing. Yeah. And he gave her a rose. Like I thought it was okay.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, and I think they definitely have a connection. Yeah, even though we'll find out later there's some other things. But yeah, I think they definitely had a connection.
Yeah, and I think it was more of like they had a connection clearly, but I think it was more of just how she handled herself with things. And again, they could have just shown like small clips. Yeah. Tomorrow we'll tell.
Well, exactly. We'll see what happens.
I mean, it will have aired by the time we
record next, but we will.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Debbie got a one-on-one date, which she was very, very excited about. Yes. So Debbie's whole story really that she gets into more in like the later episode, but she was engaged to be married at one point in time, and then she broke off her engagement. You know, it was a very sad
situation.
You know, we won't get into all the details. But you know, she's never gotten married. She's never gotten to that point. So like this is very meaningful to her, and like that's something that I've noticed about Debbie from the
start.
She's been very like invested in this.
And like when you see her pick, like when he gives her a rose at every rose ceremony, she like full on like starts sobbing because I think this just means so much to her. Yeah. So yeah.
So they cooked. I really didn't take too many notes.
Me neither. It was a cute date.
It was a cute date. They were good. While they're having that date,
they're back.
Kathy and Susan from the first season come over to have a slumber party with all of the ladies.
Yes.
All of the women are very excited to chat with them, get their advice. And like I think what was crazy, because like they were all talking to them and they were getting their advice. And what I really admire is that the first group of the women on the first Golden Bachelor, we didn't know what to expect. They were all go-getters. They were great. You know, we loved them all and everything. But this group of women, I think because they had witnessed the first season, 2 seasons technically of the show, they really went in there and they're like, well, how do we flirt? And how do we do this? And like, what's the whole thing? And I see this more empowered energy from them of really trying to like embrace their womanhood in this older age and just like, and still be open to love. And I find that, you know, I mean, it's like nobody wants to find themselves in that position, like as a woman of my age, like of your age, like we don't want to find ourselves in that position, you know, down the line because of one reason or another. But it's just good to see these women that are single at this age taking, you know, like taking that initiative and really, like really just putting themselves out there. I do really find that very inspiring.
Me too.
Yeah, so I don't know. I was just like, and it was like, oh my gosh, Kathy and Susan.
Exactly. I was so happy we didn't have to wait that much longer to see Kathy after Paradise. She's like, thank God, like we didn't have to wait that much longer. That was so good.
So then they had the rose ceremony. A few more women went home, of course. And then the beginning of the next episode, Peg gets a date card. They had a carnival date, and they went to this
the OC Fair.
Yeah, the OC Fair. They've both been there before. Yeah. You know, they talked about like how both of their partners like found somebody else, and they bond over that shared situation. They talk about the tattoos, and she's like, "We'll talk about that in the fantasy suite." Yes,
and I said that I definitely think I could definitely see why he brought her on this date because like Ren like. Yeah, right when she was like, or they were walking in, or she was walking up to him, she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited!" Like, Peg has so much energy, and I think that makes sense with her being in the fire department. That like she's just very like expressive and obviously like just again, this has a huge personality. Yeah, and she just has a lot of energy and passion for everything she does, and so I definitely saw why he brought her on this date, and I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I really like Peg.
Me too.
I mean, I think they have a good connection, too. And I think she's, like, you know, out there and a go-getter. And
she, like, really will go for what she wants, and I really like that.
Then they just pan back to some conversations happening at the house with Nicole.
Yes.
And so, again, they could be, like, Frankenbiting this, but she's like, I'm not dating Mel, I'm dating America. Carol was very bothered by this, and then also Nicole was saying the last cast wasn't so great looking, and I was like,
that's
my gosh, are you for real?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, I will say this group of women is very stunning, but I'm not saying the other cast wasn't. Not.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't believe she said that.
Yeah, me neither.
Again,
crazy.
I don't know how that's going to come. Like, it never gets addressed here.
No.
It might get addressed in
maybe later. Yeah, but that was, when she said that, it completely shocked me. I was like, that's so crazy.
Okay, so then for the group date on that episode, they did the people photo shoot. Debbie got to be the beach bride. So again, you know, because of her history and everything, she was very excited about that. Cindy also got pulled by the photographer for the additional shoot. Also, was it Carol was the one that wore the towel?
Yes.
And she was, you know, she was like a little bit whatever at first. Like, and that's what I'm saying. These women look stunning in these photos.
They really do.
Like, I was like, I just want to go find this People article, People issue, and go look at these photos because, like, you know, again, it's like I'm just happy to see these people in their older age embracing themselves and where they are and the whole thing.
Like literally when I've been watching this season, I've been like, when I'm their age, I really aspire to have that, like, still that energy and like passion for what I enjoy in life and everything. Like, hey, let me just enjoy it. Like I really aspire for that. So that's like really inspiring to see.
And I think it was Debbie in her intro package that I think talked about being inspired by the women of the previous season. So I'm like, you know, it's say what you want about the show and everything, and I get it. Like I know there's a lot of commentary and all the thing, but there are there are a lot of positives that do come out of the show, and it's like they'll talk about it on the show sometimes, but they're not always the things that are going to really make it like to the social media and to the articles and all that stuff. They're going to go with the clickbait, but like I think a lot of these people's lives have been forever changed just because of this. So so anyway, I think they had the photo shoot.
Yeah, the photo shoot, and of course, like you said, when Cindy gets the extra photo shoot, and they have all the other women watching, and they're like, "Oh no!" Like, it's like, of course they gotta do that. But yeah, that's all I have for the group day. But I thought it was fun.
And then I think, Carol got the date rose.
Yes.
Also, Robin pulled him aside to point out some women might not be there for the right
AKA
reasons.
Nicole.
Yeah, she doesn't name names.
She doesn't name names.
He doesn't feel it's true. The whole thing, and then and then that was the date. Like Carol got the date rose.
The date rose, yep.
So then they pan back to them at the house, and the women, I believe, it looked like all of the women, or at least a handful of the women, worked together to make
lemon bars
for Mel, because I guess it's his favorite dessert.
Mm-hmm.
And later on, they have like is this when they had the tailgate party?
Yeah,
they have a tailgate party with Mel. Nicole brings the lemon bars, and she brings them to him. Like, and says she made them. I don't know why they put on the card that it's from all of us, because I made them. And I'm
but you clearly see that they're all making them, so it's like, come on, Nicole.
And then they're like saying about that they're showing, and again, could be editing. They showed her in the jacuzzi while they were finishing making them. And I'm like, I think she'd helped them at one point, though.
Yeah, exactly.
So she did help a little bit. But I'm like...
Don't claim full responsibility, because you clearly did not make these yourself. It's like, come on.
It's not even like she's like jokingly saying it. She's like
she was like, I made these. Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know why they're saying it's from them. Like, I made
these.
Like,
yeah.
What?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Again, now they're just kind of doing the whole villain trope with her.
Yeah. But then nothing ever happens.
Never ever happens.
There's no lemon bar gate. I mean, I think I wrote it in our notes. I was calling it lemon bar gate.
Lemon bar gate.
But at the tailgate, they're playing beer pong with prune juice, which I thought was funny.
Really funny. Yeah.
That was it. And anyway, so then they eventually come. Do you have anything?
That's all I have for the party.
Then they go to the rose ceremony, and then
Roxanne, Robin, and Jerry all go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they were just the women that are leaving though. They did all say, like, I just made a note of that, of how they kind of like were saying they're just so much more empowered, like, to get out there and meet people and like open themselves up to love again, which I think is great. Really awesome. Yeah. And they all jumped in the pool. Yeah. After the rose ceremony with their like dresses and everything on, and I was like, oh my gosh.
See, again, women love like living their life to the fullest. They don't care. I love it.
Yeah. So I'm like, anyway. So then the next episode.
There's only 6 people left, which is truly crazy. But.
So there's 5 of them on the group date. He brings Peg, Debbie, Cheryl, Nicole, Carol, all to Butterfly Mountain. He apparently is a very spiritual person.
Yes, of course. We're gonna do our like impromptu spiritual date for the season.
Yeah, of course, as per usual. But it's like we just got the full range of like everything, because they all collectively did like a nice like releasing ritual, which was very nice, and and then I don't know how they did this, if it was like one right after the other for him. Like he had a full spa day.
He did.
Like, so he did the mud cleanse
with Peg,
and
then he did the
tantric yoga with
Debbie. Yes.
And then Nicole, he prefaced it, Nicole's one of my favorites. She brought me the lemon bars.
Yes,
and I'm like,
nope.
They pulled shaman cards, and they talked about, I guess it brought up the concept or the topic of money and income. And he definitely paused for concern, because like the way she explained it was like, I was instructed that I probably need to make more of an income. So I want to utilize social media to do the whole thing. And he did kind of catch on. And I'm not sitting here saying that just because Nicole is articulating this, that she is not there
for him.
Yeah. It's probably just even the way she was discussing it. And it's true. I mean, this is probably very truthful to what she wants. Yeah. It's a fine line. And then when you hear her saying that, and you hear other things she said of like, I'm not dating Mel, I'm dating America. Yeah. Like about saying about the other women, taking credit for the lemon bars, going to kiss him before he goes on the dates, going to it's not helping.
No, it doesn't help the situation. No.
I mean, I think, and it's like, again, I just, it is what it doesn't mean she's a bad person.
No, exactly, and that's why like the kind of that segment ended with Mel like starting to question Nicole's intentions, and he was like, "Well, I guess that's what Robin was probably talking about."
Yeah.
So
yeah.
now he's kind of starting to see it.
He connected the dots.
Yeah.
And then Carol and him do a chakra cleansing, and then they talk. And then she actually just kind of said, like, look, I don't feel like your person, and I didn't get a one-on-one, so she self-eliminates.
Yeah. Which, again, I'm glad she didn't force anything.
No,
I think
I'm glad. And they clearly were all separated to some capacity, because then they all realized that Carol left, and they were like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
And then, anyway, so then that's the end of the whole...
The group date.
Butterfly Mountain.
Yes. Healing date.
I just thought of Charlie the Unicorn. Video on YouTube.
Yes.
Anyway.
So then Cindy, and she goes on her one-on-one date.
Yeah, they went horseback riding. I just left because he was like, I don't have fear. I played in the NFL. And I'm like, okay, I'm just, whatever.
Yes.
It's fine. And then she opens up about her divorce,
Mm-hmm.
re-emphasizes her desire to fall in love again. Mm-hmm. He got her a star, which I'm like, oh
that was so sweet.
It's so sweet, but I'm like, you have 5 other women left.
Yes.
Why are you getting her a star right
exactly.
now? And then the women all get to FaceTime their families before they go into the rose ceremony, and I was happy to see that. And then Cheryl and Nicole go home. Mm-hmm. I feel bad for Cheryl because, like, I was kind of like hoping maybe they would have.
That's what I thought. My hope was it was either. I knew it was going to either be between. Like, I didn't think Nicole was making it to hometown, so I was just like, okay. But I really thought it was going to be between Cheryl and Debbie, and I could see it going either way. Yeah. So, like, I was disappointed that, like, Cheryl didn't make it through, but I'm also happy with Debbie. Yeah. I think Cheryl will find her person. I'm very confident about that.
But the crazy thing is when he sent her home.
Yes, oh my gosh.
Goes, when it doesn't work out with the one you pick, because it probably won't, you call me.
And it's just like, I'm serious. Like, it won't make, I'm like, that's crazy.
I'm like, what?
Why would you say that?
That is so, but it's so, I literally put like the skull and crossbones emoji in my notes. Yes. It was just like.
That's so crazy. Like, she has no filter, but okay.
I don't know.
Whatever, yeah. So now, last episode, hometowns.
Hometowns, yeah. So Peg's hometown is Las Vegas. She started by taking him to the firehouse. She said, I had a career on the pole, and
yes,
laughed. So that was funny.
That was really funny. Yeah. And she like did the whole thing with like the leg kick and stuff on the pole. It was so good.
So then she brings him home to meet her family. Her daughter
grilled him
so much and asked, like, are you in love with her? And honestly, his responses were not helping.
No.
He was not giving her any confidence in the answer.
Because I was kind of expecting him to, like, say more. Like, he would kind of elaborate. I was expecting him to elaborate on his answers, but then she'd be like, oh, how do you feel about it? And he's like, oh, good. Strong. And then, like, that would be it. And it's like, okay.
And she's like, I don't have to be, or no, what did he say? I don't have to be in love right this second. And I'm like, I'm not going to say it unless it's sincere. And I was like, eek, because of just the way that he was reacting. Listen. I don't know. You tell me your thoughts. But my whole thing is that it's like, this show, they're like stereotypically is like primed to be like, you're so madly in love at the end and the whole thing. Of course, you want to. Yeah. I think just with the Golden Bachelor, and I think where Mella's head is at, and I think he's just not that expressive of a person in that regard.
Yeah, no.
This is just, he's like, look, I'm not gonna force myself to be a place that I'm not. I think he genuinely does have a connection with the women.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. Will it last forever?
Who knows?
I don't know that. We don't know that. I think he's like being truthful to himself, but like, I don't even feel like if he said, oh, I'm in love with Peg, I would have believed him.
Yeah, no. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, exactly.
At this point in time, I think he likes her. He's enjoying talking to her, getting to know her, whatever. And I don't know if it's also just because the episodes have been an hour. Like, I can't even see, like, there's not this, like, depth of connection in this whole thing. Like, it's not, I don't think it's wrong, but it's just, like, she's pushing it because I think she's definitely falling victim to the trope of, like, you know, this is another thing. Yeah. That it's kind of seeming like, oh, this is, like, stereotypical Bachelor, like, the family grilling them. And it's, like, not that, obviously, for Golden, they still have a right to like ask them questions, but I don't know. It made it more dramatic.
They did, of course. Like I said, it was a very like typical like family member drilling the lead trope where it's like, oh, you're not giving me enough. I'm not impressed by the answer. Like, yeah, exactly. So, but okay.
And then Debbie, they went to Denver, Colorado. They go to Red Rocks. Which I'm like,
which I've always wanted to go.
Me too.
It looks so fun.
I want to go to a concert there.
Yes, me too.
In my life. And then, you know, I explained this earlier in our episode here. She talked about like the breakup with her ex, and and like
there was a lot of tragic circumstances around that.
Yeah, and what happened afterwards. And then they met the family, and he had a better conversation with the family, and I think overall the hometown went well.
Well, yeah. It seemed like for this, like, again, maybe just because the episodes are an hour, but for like the regular Bachelorette shows, like hometowns, like the dates are like 10, 15 minutes long, where it's like they do like a 5-minute, 10-minute like day portion, then go meet the family. This was like hometown would be like like it would be like a hometown. The hometown dates would be like 5 minutes, like in the Golden. So it's like
it's just so short lived because there were 3 of them in one episode, 1 hour episode. Plus they need to do the rose ceremony.
Yeah, so it was like they can only do so much. Yeah.
And then for Cindy, they go to Austin, Texas. They met the family first, and then that's where I was like, I don't even know. They always do this? Did they do a date portion? Maybe, I don't know, because there's sometimes where like they don't even show it, but maybe they did. I don't know. They did or something. They or they make the family meeting the family the date. The date, like, they probably have some time like together, but they go to meet the family. Her kids had similar concerns. I think the son-in-laws had more. He said the daughters had more concerns. They like kind of like I forgot which kids. Because I know her 2 son-in-laws, or one was like her future son-in-law, and one is an actual son-in-law. And they were more kind of like having like guy talk with them, and it was like, oh, you're gonna like, oh, she's gonna know so much more college football than you, and all that kind of thing. Oh yeah. But I think that the daughters, the 3 daughters, and I think maybe one in particular had like kind of concerns, just like Peg's daughter did. Yeah, so, but it wasn't as like direct and aggressive. Yeah. But she did say she's really falling for him. I mean, I sense that Cindy's more in that like lovey-dovey. I mean, she felt like Cinderella on the first night. Like, I think that's just her style versus Peg. Yeah. And just seeing, like, where their connection goes. Yeah. And then Debbie does go home. Yes, unfortunately. The ceremony. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, man, can you make her Golden Bachelorette? Yeah, I know. I was like, I would really like to see that. I would say either her or Cheryl. I would say Debbie or Cheryl. I would be really, really happy. But Debbie, I just think because she's just so into it. And I feel like I hate using that word. I don't even want to say that word. Like, I just feel like her story lends itself more to having the opportunity to be the Golden Bachelorette. So if I agree. They're considering giving her an offer. I would think that'd be good. I would think so too. Yes. I mean, and that's nothing against any of the other women. Yes. So now. Yeah. Now we wait. Now we wait and see what happens. Now we have Cindy and Peg as the final 2. Yeah. I'm sure there'll be a lot that happens tomorrow at the Women's Hall, and I'm sure when we record next, we'll have a lot to talk about that and the finale. But I'm really curious. Like, do you have any idea of who you think, just like dancing, who could win this, or who Mel will pick? Mel will pick. I don't know. I really like Pig, but I feel like he should pick Cindy. Yeah. But then again, they flip-flop it on us, so like he could end up picking Peg. I could see that too. And I'm like, okay, but then if he picks Peg, maybe Cindy could be Golden Bachelor. I don't know. So. I think it's gonna boil down to the last 2 episodes I can't keep track of this, but I don't know. What about you? Oh my gosh! Like you said, I think his personality leans towards fitting better with Cindy, but I don't know. This show just throws the curveball on us all the time to where I totally could see it being like, oh, Peg, and everything's great. Like, I could totally see that too. So I don't think there's going to be an engagement, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with no engagement. Me too. I just feel like it's too rushed. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I think I see the connection. It's just different. It's a very different vibe, because Cindy's much more like, she's obviously passionate about what she does, but she's very much more kind of like internal and is very... Not that Peg doesn't have her soft moments, but like I think Peg is much more expressive and much more kind of out there and great in a different way. But Cindy is much more kind of soft and calm and mellow. And so it's just very different vibes. It depends on what he wants. And all that. So well, if you have stayed around this long, like after 12 shows or 12 episodes, thank you. Thank you for bearing with us. I mean, there's kind of a big change, or doing the monthly episodes. The monthly episodes, but we think, it's probably better. We have more to recap in an episode, and we'd rather have a few less episodes that are longer with all the details. By the time we record the next episode, all of the shows will be done. So, just give us your thoughts. Put them in the comments. Who do you think might win either show? Yeah, let us know. Comment on our, Instagram and anything like that. So thank you for joining us today. Yes. If you enjoyed the episode, share it with your friends. Comment, subscribe. You can follow us on Instagram at Ballrooms and Bachelors. All right, take care, everybody. See you guys soon. Bye.